the most intimidating crowd I have ever had to talk to. I must say, you read a CV which is so-so, in a context of 3 amazing, wonderful, uplifting stories of hope and courage and love and triumph, then you know that anything and everything that we've done to date is this one. So congratulations to everyone and good evening. So listening to the presentations this evening, I was wondering why did I even agree to come and talk when you already have got so many testimonials that are a living example of what it means to be a South African and also what it means to be part of a country that believes in nation building. My association with Partners for Possibilities is about a year old, and within that year period, I have asked the question repeatedly, what is it that we as the trustees and other people associated with the organization, what is it that we can do better to make your lives even much better and easier? And this is because every once in a while, within the various boardrooms of South Africa, we continue to ask the question, not once in a while, often, and more often than not, we continue to ask the question, how do we make sure that our vision and goal as organizations are aligned to the society and broader country's interests? And a program like Partners for Possibility brings that much closer home, and to most boardrooms, we get to see the human face of South Africans. You will agree with me that the 3 schools that we have listened from and listened to this evening have really indeed delivered and shown the human face of South Africa, that of partnerships, that of people who wake up every day, who do the best for this country without asking for anything in return, that people who know that whatever they have, they are prepared to share with others, is brought to the boardroom. So I really want to congratulate everyone for the good work that is being done, because bringing that human face to the boardroom is something that we need every day. The second part that I want to reflect on for this evening is the fact that when you talk about the journey of partnerships, you have to think about something deeper than just saying, I've got a partner. And I think this evening again, we saw that deeper connection between partners. You would not have seen or experienced the kind of relationships and chemistry as the ones we saw this evening if there was no trust between those partners, if there was no respect between those partners, as well if there was no recognition of our own humanity and humanness between the 2 partners. And as such, a program like Partners for Possibility, for me, is not just an education program, but it's a nation-building program. And I think when you talk about it tomorrow, do not talk about an educational program, however, talk about a nation-building program. Thirdly, I think we all know that to change anything, you've got to start with yourself. And I think many of the testimonies and testimonials we've shared this evening talk to that. My favorite quotation comes always from Stephen Covey, one of the 7 habits, which says, seek first to understand before you're understood. And I think our journeys and my journey and everyone's journey here can at some point or other reflect the fact that up until you sit down and listen, and truly listen with your heart, rather than just your ears, you will be able to understand and therefore be able to make a difference, because everyone wants to make a difference. But you can't come already having a preconceived idea that this is how, or this is the difference you want to make. Often we sit wherever we sit and see the news and read the papers and go to social media and say, oh, we think they need a library because they have to read. And I'm saying that clearly. Meanwhile, we have not sat down with them and asked exactly what is it there to read. This evening we have heard that some people needed just a confidant. We know the statement that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. It's the same in the public sector, it's the same in the private sector, whether you're a CEO of a big company or a CEO of a small company or a principal or head, I don't know what principals are called nowadays, but head of a school, of a big or small school, that is a lonely place to be. And a confidant is someone that you need, and we've heard that these partnerships do offer that opportunity. We've also heard that the possibilities and the partnerships offer people the interdependence. Now, you cannot have interdependence without first being an independent person. I think the story that we've heard from teacher, is it Zandile, from Riboni, you needed first to have your sense of independence and comfort before you could accept the hand of partnership that was being offered to you to be able to produce a powerful outcome that comes out of interdependence at the right time for you with your partner Timothy. So again, congratulations, and I think that's a lesson for all of us. My last comment for the evening, because I realize that I don't want to mess up what has been said and presented here very, very profoundly. However, my last lesson is to say, or not lesson, but a comment, is to reinforce the fact that as leaders, wherever we are in our spheres of life, we've got a unique opportunity to change someone's life and destiny. And I'm often reminded of the parable of the sower, for those who read the Bible at some point or who had read the Bible at some point. The parable of the sower, where the sower had some seeds with them, and they were walking up the mountain looking for a place to plant the seeds. And we are told that some of the seeds fell on the way as he was going up the mountain to plant, and some of the seeds fell on some rocky ground, some of the seeds fell on some thorny grounds, and eventually when the sower found the perfect spot to plant his seeds, he planted the seeds. And a few months later, when he came back, he realized a difference, vast difference in terms of how each one of those seeds had progressed and germinated. Obviously, those that had fallen on the thorny path didn't grow. They grew, but they were limping, really. And those that grew on rocky mountains just managed to live to half of their potential. And those that were planted on good seed or soil grew to their fullest potential. And you ask yourself the question, were the seeds equal in the beginning, or they were not equal? And what made the difference for those seeds that were able to thrive and blossom and grow to their fullest potential? The only thing that made a difference to them was the soil. And that soil, really and truly, it's what leadership are able to provide to young children. All children are born equal as the seed, and they need that particular ground. And as you continue to offer our children in the country the opportunity to grow and thrive to their fullest potential. I would like to say that do know that you have partners, you have people who wish you well wherever you are, because our success in business is closely linked to the society's success, especially in South Africa. And I wish you well and congratulate everyone for this evening, and also congratulate Partners for Possibility as an organization. Thank you for the invitation.